Barcelona did not just sign Karim Adeyemi, they signed a weapon. Barcelona did not always need another superstar. They did not need another player who wants the ball at his feet for 10 seconds. They needed something different, something direct, something violent, something that can stretch a defense, press like a machine, attack space without fear, and turn one loose ball into panic. That is why Karim Adeyemi makes so much sense. Not because he is the biggest name on the market, but because he brings exactly the profile Hansi Flick wants. Speed behind the line, 1v1 danger, pressing intensity, transition power, and the kind of chaos that can change a match before the opponent even understands what went wrong. This is not just a winger, this is not just another fast player, this is a vertical dagger built for modern football. And if Barcelona use him correctly, Adeyemi could become one of the most dangerous signings of their new era. The real reason this signing matters is simple. Adeyemi gives Barcelona something they have been missing. For years, Barcelona have been associated with control, possession, patience, short passes, technical superiority. But modern football does not only reward control anymore, it rewards speed, it rewards pressure, it rewards teams who can hurt you the moment you lose balance. And that is where Adeyemi becomes dangerous. He does not need the whole team to slow down for him. He does not need the ball every minute. He reads empty space. He attacks the blind side. He forces defenders to drop deeper because they know one pass behind them can destroy the entire line. That changes the way opponents defend Barcelona. Suddenly, they cannot only worry about pedigree between the lines, Lamine Yamal on the right, or the striker inside the box. They also have to worry about the space behind them. And once a defense starts fearing the space behind, Barcelona's creators get more room to breathe. The real reason this signing matters is simple. Adeyemi gives Barcelona something they have been missing. Some wingers need rhythm, they need isolation, they need time to face the defender, slow the game down, and then decide. Adeyemi is different. He can hurt you instantly. One run, one pass, one acceleration. That is enough. At full speed, he can carry the ball without losing control, and that is what makes him so uncomfortable to defend. He can attack the outside, he can cut inside, he can run diagonally toward goal, he can play from the left, from the right, or even as a central forward when the match becomes open. His biggest weapon is not only pace, it is pace with direction, pace with aggression, pace with a final action. That is why defenders hate playing against him. They cannot relax, because Adeyemi does not need long possession to become dangerous. He only needs the moment when the defensive line blinks. Now look closer. This is not just a Barcelona signing, this is a Hansi Flick signing. Flick does not want passive attackers. He wants players who run with purpose, press with intensity, and attack space with conviction. That is why Adeyemi fits the idea. He is not just useful when Barcelona have the ball, he can also help when they lose it. In a high-pressing structure, wide players are not decoration. They are the first wall. They guide the opponent's build-up. They trap centre-backs. They close passing lanes. They sprint again and again until the rival team starts making mistakes. Adeyemi has that engine. He has played in Bundesliga football, where transitions are brutal and space appears quickly. He understands what it means to attack, lose the ball, and immediately become a defender. For Flick, that matters, because Barcelona are not only trying to look beautiful, they are trying to become harder, faster, and more dangerous without the ball. Don't believe me? Look at the history. Adeyemi has been leaving warnings everywhere. This did not start at Barcelona. Adeyemi has been building this profile for years. Before the bright lights, before the transfer talk, before the big European nights, there was a young forward learning how to turn speed into punishment. At Salzburg, the pattern became impossible to ignore. He was not just fast, he was direct. He attacked defenders like every open space was an invitation. He scored, assisted, won penalties, and forced bigger clubs to pay attention. The numbers mattered, but the feeling mattered more. Every time he received the ball with grass in front of him, the match changed. Defenders turned, midfielders chased. Goalkeepers started moving early. That is when Europe began to understand that Adeyemi was not a normal winger. He was a transition player with end product, and those are rare. But the Champions League told an even clearer story. In Europe, there is nowhere to hide. The spaces are tighter, the defenders are smarter, the pressure is heavier, and yet Adeyemi still found ways to hurt teams. One of the clearest signs was not just the goals, it was the way he created panic. He could receive the ball wide, attack the defender, and force a mistake. He could sprint into the box and win penalties. He could turn a normal transition into a dangerous attack before the backline recovered. That is the value Barcelona are buying. Not only a player who can finish a move, but a player who can create disorder before the finish even arrives. In knockout football, that matters. In Champions League football, that can be the difference between a controlled match and a broken one, and Adeyemi has always been at his best when the game breaks open. And then Dortmund gave him the real test. Pressure, injuries, expectation, and big nights. At Dortmund, Adeyemi's story became more complicated, and that is important, because Barcelona are not signing a perfect player, they are signing a dangerous one. His time in Germany had explosive peaks, but also injuries, inconsistency, and moments where the final decision was not always clean. That is the honest part of the story. He is not a finished superstar walking into Barcelona as a guaranteed solution, but when he was fit, confident, and allowed to attack space, he could change Dortmund's entire attack. He gave them depth, he gave them chaos, he gave them a way to escape pressure with one ball forward. That is why this signing is interesting. Barcelona are not buying the safest player in the world. They are buying a profile that under the right coach could become terrifying. And then came the moment that showed exactly what he can be. Against Chelsea, Adeyemi produced the kind of goal that explains his entire profile in one sequence. Dortmund cleared the ball, the match opened, Adeyemi saw the space before everyone else. Then he exploded. One long carry, one defender left behind, one goalkeeper beaten, one finish into the empty net. That goal was not just beautiful, it was a warning. This is what happens when Adeyemi gets open grass. This is what happens when a defender has to turn and run. This is what happens when transition football meets elite acceleration. Barcelona watched a player who could turn defense into attack in seconds, and for a team that wants to become more vertical under Flick, that kind of action is priceless. But the scary part is not one goal, it is that Adeyemi has already lived the kind of pressure Barcelona demands. Barcelona is not a normal club. Talent is never enough there. The shirt is heavy, the criticism is loud, the patience is short. That is why experience matters. Adeyemi has already played Champions League knockout nights. He has already faced elite defenders. He has already felt the pressure of a title race. He has already lived the pain of Dortmund coming close and falling short. Those scars matter. They do not make him a superstar, but they make him more prepared than a raw prospect. He understands what it feels like when one action can change the mood of an entire stadium. And in Barcelona, that is exactly the environment he is walking into. Every run will be judged, every miss will be discussed, every big night will demand personality. The real question is simple. How does Adeyemi actually make Barcelona? That gives Flick options. Imagine Lamine Yamal holding the right side, slowing defenders down, attracting attention, and then Barcelona switch the ball to the opposite side, where Adeyemi attacks at full speed. One side controls you, the other side kills you. That balance is dangerous. It means Barcelona do not have to attack the same way every time. They can combine through midfield. They can press high, they can counter, they can go long when opponents push up. And when teams sit deep, Adeyemi's movement can still drag defenders away and open space for creators like Pedri, Gavi, or Dani Olmo. Here is the twist. This signing will only work if Barcelona accept what Adeyemi really is. Adeyemi is not a player you should force into slow, safe, predictable football. That would kill his danger. He needs space, he needs timing, he needs freedom to attack, he needs a structure that allows risk. And Barcelona must accept that risk. Because with Adeyemi, not every action will be clean, not every dribble will work, not every final ball will be perfect. But the reward is chaos, and sometimes chaos is exactly what Barcelona have lacked. Against deep blocks, they have often needed someone who does not just circulate the ball but threatens to break the match. Adeyemi can be that player, but only if Flick builds the right environment around him. Use him like a normal possession winger, and he becomes limited. Use him like a transition weapon, and suddenly he becomes terrifying. And this is what makes Barcelona's project dangerous now. This is not just about Karim Adeyemi, this is about what Barcelona are becoming. A team that still wants technical control but no longer wants to be slow. A team that still values possession but also wants verticality. A team that wants to press, run, suffocate, and attack the space the moment it appears. Adeyemi fits that evolution. He gives them depth, he gives them speed, he gives them another way to hurt opponents when the beautiful way is blocked. And in Europe, that matters. Because the Champions League does not always reward the team that looks cleaner. Sometimes it rewards the team that can suffer, press, counter, and kill in one moment. That is why this signing could matter more than people think. It is not about replacing Barcelona's identity. It is about adding a sharper edge to it. So no, this is not just another fast winger arriving at Camp Nou. Karim Adeyemi arrives with speed, yes, but also with pressure, with scars, with questions, with a profile that can either explode under Flick or disappear if Barcelona use him the wrong way. That is what makes this signing interesting. It is not safe, it is not simple, it is not just a marketing move, it is a football decision, a profile decision, a system decision. Barcelona needed a player who could attack space, press with hunger, and make defenders afraid before the pass is even played. Adeyemi can be that player, and if Flick unlocks him, this signing will not just give Barcelona another option, it will give them another weapon. Because sometimes the best signing is not the loudest name. It is the player who gives your team something it did not have before. And Adeyemi gives Barcelona one thing every elite team needs, a way to kill the game in seconds.